to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gonna take
this is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. Have a great show for y'all today. It's Black Friday. I know some of y'all probably still shopping, trying to get the last TV, the last, whatever you're trying to get, right? Last PS5. I don't know what y'all do because I didn't do no Black Friday shopping today. But we got some Black Friday talk today, some NFL talk. We had 3 games on Thanksgiving. Got 2 of our bros with me, but I want to do something in a second. Let me let y'all know what we're going to talk about. First, Eberflus got fleeced. He got fired. He's out of here. We had to react to that. This happened an hour ago? So we're going to react to that. The Cowboys. Michael Parsons had some good words after the game. Playoff hosts, are they still alive? Can they still make the playoffs? We got a Cowboy on the set. We want to hear what his thoughts are and hear what he got to say. Dolphins, another loss in the cold weather. Are their playoff hopes over? My man J-Mo not on to represent, but we're going to represent for him and let y'all know the real deal when it comes to the Dolphins. Eagles and Ravens. That's going to be the clash of the birds in Baltimore. Who wins that game? And lastly, the upset alert. Who's going to make, me and Tomo won. I said alerts. Sadly, so he won. I didn't expect that to happen, but we both won last week. Man. So Dave joins us this week. Who wins this week? But speaking of Dave and Tomo, I got 2 of my bros with me. I got Davey Dollars here representing the Doghouse. He has his episode of Doghouse, episode 43, coming out today at 3 p.m. So make sure y'all, 44, Rick Mahon. Shout out to my man Dave. And then we got my man Tomo, Missy Get Done Son, co-host of In the Red Corner. How y'all doing, fellas?
Doing good, man. Joe, I got that video clip for you too, man. You want to talk about Michael bringing the host back to Dallas. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see. I don't think he wasn't smiling as much as he was when he talked about Dan Quinn, but we're going to see. How y'all boys doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, too.
I'm doing good. Happy holidays to everyone. I am excited to talk about today's topics, man. We got a bird battle that's going on. We haven't heard much noise in the chats this week, but we got a bird battle coming on. It's been hyped up throughout the year, and now the week come, and then we don't really hear much. We started to hear some stuff today, so finally we got some bird bloodbath brewing right now. So it's all battle for the bird kingdom on Sunday. Ravens and Eagles. Let's see what's gonna happen with that game. Lions, man, just they dominating right now. 11-1 for the first time in franchise history. And like you said, Matt Eberflus got fired today. This is the first time in the Bears franchise history that they did it in season. Over 100 years. And it's the first time they did it. We're going to talk about that today, man. But it's Friday. It's the weekend, man. The day after Thanksgiving. Some people turned up yesterday. But they're going to do it again today. So let's turn up.
Turn me up.
Jody, do you think?
All right, y'all. We are streaming this on 3 platforms. We are streaming this on YouTube, X, and Facebook. So make sure y'all like the video on all 3 platforms. Subscribe and follow on all 3 platforms. I Refuse to Lose Sports. But on X at R2L Sports. And share this video with someone so they can be involved in the show and watch this live by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to my boy Teddy, Mr. BWT himself. Baseball with Teddy. Make sure y'all go subscribe. What's up, fellas? What's good with you? We know you ate good yesterday. No, we know you ate good. You probably chilling right now. I'm surprised you're not asleep still. But shout out to my boy Teddy, all right? And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Tomo, floor is yours.
And I don't know if everybody was moving around a lot, but these Thursday, you know, they got a whole slate of games. But is it me, or do it feel like all of the Thursday Thanksgiving games last longer than a normal Sunday would go? Because it was like, bro, the game started at 12 and ended at like 6. The Cowboys game started at 4:30 and ended at like 10:30.
Right.
Like, bro, sheesh. Is it the halftime performances? Well, all this time they spent doing all this, playing the games and the halftime performance, you would think that one coach would sit up there and be like, you know what? I can actually manage the clock. It was 3rd and 26, one timeout left. And Eberflus didn't know that he was fighting for his job at this moment, but technically that one timeout was the reason he got put in timeout from the Bears. So we got to talk about it. We sent him in the force. They didn't help the Bear. Eberflus gonna need it. Caleb Williams threw an interception. An incomplete pass at Sam expired, and Detroit after the man, I can tell I'm still tired. After the Lions defeated the Bears 23-20, which extended the Bears losing streak to 6 games yesterday. And a lot of talk came out of the locker room. A lot of the players were like, "We did what we were supposed to do." Eberflus said he actually liked the call. The higher up said we actually didn't like the call, so they gave him the phone call and the boot. Guys, the Bears fired him. It reported around about 12:45, 12:55 as we were still doing our notes that he was actually out of it. To get the black trash bag on Black Friday says a lot about what you were doing with this franchise. Joe, you called it when we were doing our season previews. And it was like, hey, man, I like the Bears, but I don't trust the coach. Sounds like you were spot on with this one. What's your reaction to it?
Well, listen, man. First of all, let me apologize to the Bears organization. I apologize on behalf of the Washington Commanders. I know the Hail Mary kind of derailed your whole season. Did a deeper dive into it. You guys were on a win streak, 3-game win streak, fresh off your bye week, feeling good. Caleb Williams creeping up to the Rookie of the Year race. And you are up. Game sealed. Nobody wins on the Hail Mary for real. I mean, people tie sometimes, go to overtime. So Aaron Rodgers did it 2 times. But nobody really wins on the Hail Mary. And not only we won, we broke the season because at that moment, if you would have won that game, you would have been 5-2. But instead, you were 4-3, and you haven't won a game since then. So I want to apologize on behalf of the Commanders. We didn't mean to do this. We like Caleb. Caleb is from the DMV area, grew up in Bowie. So we want to see Caleb do great. So for him to go through this mess in year 1, I'm sorry. Hope you accept my apology. Now back to why he got fired. So I am not for coaches being fired within the first year of a rookie season for a player. We saw this happen to Bryce Young last year. They went and got, your boy, what's his name? The guru, the offense, the quarterback whisperer. All right. What's his name?
Dave Canales.
No. Eagles ties.
Frank Wright.
Frank Wright. There it is. Quarterback whisperer. They hired him, traded all the assets to get Bryce Young, and then fired him 10 weeks in. You remember that? Fired him. So same thing. Number 1 overall pick gets drafted to a terrible organization, and then this time they fired the offensive coordinator who's directly involved into Caleb Williams' success. And then you fire the head coach within his first year. Now, I do think Eberflus was not going to come back. But you made it this far into the season. Just finish out the season. Fire him at the end of the season, and then start fresh. Now you're bringing in Thomas Brown. Let's say Thomas Brown come in and he does okay, does well. Now it's going to be that Oakland Raiders, that Las Vegas Raiders situation. Remember when they coach came in, went to the playoffs, and now you got people like, oh, you should keep him. No. So now it's going to be more drama in the offseason, I believe. All right, because a lot of people said Thomas Brown is a diamond in the rough. A lot of people are saying that. All right, good to see another African American former football player get a coaching opportunity also. So, but he deserved to get fired, y'all. One thing I don't like about Eberflus, right? It's not what happened on the field. That's not what I'm really mad about because coaches make mistakes. My issue is his lack of taking responsibility of these issues. When the Hail Mary happened, he did not take responsibility of us gaining those 13 yards to get closer for a Hail Mary. He didn't take responsibility for that. Also, the antics of Stevenson on the sideline. Did he take any responsibility of his antics? He did not stop him. He did not call a timeout. He did not pull him to the side after he did it 2 plays in a row. You can't say, oh, we're in the middle of the play. He did it the play prior to the Hail Mary. And you still pull him to the side. Wake up, pay attention. This is the key moment. And then you didn't take no responsibility of that. And then this play, they asked you, what happened? Okay, we wanted to get it down to 18 seconds, call timeout. Ooh. Okay, you did not make that happen. You're the head coach, right? You watching the time tick down. Reminder, your quarterback is a rookie. Huh? And I don't think he's never been in a situation. Not only that, it's Thursday, Thanksgiving, prime time in Detroit. Gets the best team in your conference. It's a lot of pressure for the kid. And he's just doing, you can tell you, like, what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to run this clock out? I'm supposed to hurry. What's going on? Head coach, timeout. We saw Spags. He wasn't supposed to do that. I don't know why he ain't got the flag. I remember Spags on the game 1 against the Ravens, ran down the field, was like, timeout. Come on, Eberflus, called timeout. And then they asked him about it. He said, this is what we wanted to do. They said, okay, why didn't you do it? He said, well, they asked him, how would you assess how you handle it? Well, I like what we did. We all collectively have to be better. He never says, I have to be better. Me, the head coach, it's on me. That's what you got to do. I was told as a leader, when the team wins, it's the team's fault. Give them the praise. When the team loses, it's your fault. You got to take all the blame. You have to. You are the head coach. So I think he deserved to be fired. But like I said, I would like for them to at least, you made it this far. Just finish the season and then fire him and then start your head coaching search fresh.
Dave?
I second that. It not only started with the Washington Commanders ending their 3-game win streak because they were 4-2 at the time. They were 19 seconds away from being 5-2, and possibly. And if you think about it, Matt Eberflus was in talks to get contract extension during that time.
Woo!
So he could have gotten a contract extension during that time. Not only did that happen, if you look at the last 3 games, do you understand what happened in the last 3 games? They could have easily been Green Bay, Minnesota, and the Lions and possibly given an extension. But in the biggest moments, the team was not prepared. 3 straight divisional losses in 11 days. That's it. That's what did it. You had a chance to, after going on a 3-game losing streak, to have a 3-game winning streak right after that. Your team right now could easily be 7-5 instead of being 4-8. You would have been in a different position right now. They would be talking about you guys being in the playoff picture, along with the Washington Commanders, along with the Vikings, along with all of these other teams that's in there, the Falcons. You had a chance to be in talks with that, and then no one could question your coaching. Because they like, you got a rookie at 7-5, you playoff picture right now. They could be like, you know what? They would have been talking like, you know what, Matt Eberflus is not even a problem right now. They just needed another quarterback. They needed some weapons, but that's not the case. And then if you look at if you watch the game last night, this is another thing they need to address in the offseason. Address the offensive line, please. Address the offensive line. I know people say Caleb Williams gets himself sacked sometimes. There was a play where the right tackle let someone clearly run past him, and then he just looked. It was like, oh, I forgot to block him, and then he got sacked. So that's not always on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams on pace with the new offensive coordinator is on pace to throw for 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions if he was there for 17 games. That's how well he's playing now with this new offensive coordinator. So we know it's not the OC now. The OC is a lot better, but the offensive line is still not good. The defense actually played pretty well because there were times where the Lions had chances to score touchdowns in the red zone, and they made them score field goals. So defense is still really good. You got weapons. You got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen, who's now coming into his own thing. He's had 2 really good games, the last 2 games. Then you got the running back, DeAndre Swift, who's been, he's been pretty decent almost all season long. And Caleb is now looking better than what he did in the beginning of the season. He's starting to come into his own game.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Eberflus should have never kept his job. He should have gotten fired last year.
Mm-hmm.
He should have gotten fired last year. There's no reason why he should have kept his job. They should have went ahead and hired Ben Johnson last year because Ben Johnson wanted the Chicago Bears job. He said this is the job that he wanted. Should have hired him, or at least when it got Cliff Kingsbury. If you put Cliff Kingsbury in this offense, you wouldn't have to worry about it because Cliff Kingsbury was also someone else you were talking to. But you went with Shane Waldron. So now this is what you had to deal with. So the Bears, I'm going to talk about the Bears today on my show. So this is all I'm really going to say for right now because the Bears organization is just like the Jets. Trash.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Dang,
the six
Jets got a straight. Go ahead.
right. So the 6 degrees of separation between the Commanders and the Bears. I'm not even gonna say 6 degrees of separation. The Hail Mary pass between the Commanders and the Bears was one, the difference of a season, because that could have spiraled the Commanders if they would have lost that game. The turmoil that they're seeing now, they could have seen it a little bit earlier. And who's to say that the Bears and the Commanders don't flip spots? So now we're talking about the Commanders being at 4-8, and then the Bears being at 7-5.
That's true.
Then we're talking about offensive coordinators. Cliff Kingsbury is there now. Everyone's questioning Cliff Kingsbury. However, the fast start was why a lot of people said he should have been teamed up with Caleb. But then it goes back even further because who was the first head coach that the Commanders tried to go get on the plane? Ben Johnson. Joe, I think you might escape this one.
It's a full circle. It's a full circle.
Ooh, I don't know, Joe. You might be on the good side of history right now. Even though you all are fighting for a playoff spot, but you in a good spot. You rather be fighting for that than going from coach of the year to saying that coach needs to be fired. Well, is fired. The offense. Another thing I want to throw out there too is Hard Knocks curse definitely exists. I'm sorry, I don't know what no one. Carl, I know you don't believe in curses, but Madden and Hard Knocks is 100% on point. Because the Bears started off in the offseason, the Bears and the Giants, and now look at both franchises. Look at both of them. Neither one of them are making the playoffs. The year before, the Jets was on there. What is it? Aaron Rodgers played 3 snaps. All I'm saying is the Hard Knock curse is real. However, we got a whole division going up this time.
I know.
So they might make it out a little easy because the Browns is in that division. So look. But then again, I think it's hindering the Bengals because they MVP balling, Burrow's balling like MVP, and they can't win games.
It might hinder the whole division. The division winner might be 10-7. Who knows? We don't know.
Might get bounced in the playoffs early.
Who knows?
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
We continue.
But yeah, but back to Matt Eberflus, I'm with y'all. He definitely should have been fired last year. But again, there's a running thing about the Kellen Moore scapegoat thing. Justin Fields was a scapegoat in that situation because look, they said it was the quarterback's fault. We couldn't win games because of the quarterback. There were literally 9 times this year I've seen on either Twitter, ESPN, or NFL, or somewhere in the Refuse to Lose chat that they have been comparing Justin Fields to what Caleb Williams has been going through. And Justin Fields is actually able to win some of those games. So it's like, is it really the quarterback that was holding his team back? Because you went and got out all these weapons for this young kid, and it's looking like the same result. Scapegoat. Now, the Bears do have a lot of promise going their way, which is why I also thought Matt Eberflus should have got fired. You got a good GM who's bringing in new pieces. You got a new quarterback. You got a new running back. You got all these new things coming in, and you got the same old coach. Why would you waste the rookie year this way? Especially when you got the quarterback that everyone was comparing to Patrick Mahomes. Now, I could see, no disrespect to Drake May, but I could see if Drake May was the number 1 pick. It's like there's not a lot of hype around Drake May, but he's a good quarterback. So, all right, we're going to give Matt Eberflus another chance. You got another guy they was potentially comparing to Patrick Mahomes, and you give him Matt Eberflus? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just some things that still puzzles me. And also looking at Matt Eberflus over his career, 14-31, 3-19 on road games, 0-18 on
14-32 now.
Oh, yeah, we were 14-32. There we go. Well, that might be it for him. He might be done, son. Got a potential candidate right there. Him and the Giants. I'm working on it, fellas. We got something for Tuesday. 0-18. Now I'm gonna say some of these stats so I can use it for my done son. But he was just a bad head coach. That's all I'm saying. And the fact that he came out after that, knowing that if the time is ticking down to 7 seconds, oh my goodness, Daddy. The time is ticking down to 7 seconds, you're supposed to call a timeout. Even playing Madden, you would do the same thing. Like, He potentially could have messed up this guy's career. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm with you on that. Firing a coach before the season is over, but the site he lost the locker room 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely lost the locker room after this one. They had to do something. They had to do something because players would have been like, all right, I'm looking for trades. They would have been on their way out. You done already broke the psyche of Caleb Williams. I don't even know if he still polishes nails no more. That's how down he probably is. So yeah, Matt had to go.
But real quick.
Teddy, you right.
So, like y'all said it for me, kind of like y'all said it. Y'all be all agreeing. Before the season, he should have been gone. I remember last year when he was so critical on Justin Fields. Y'all remember that? And remember when Justin Fields was looking like a deer in the headlights when they try to make him a pure passer? Like they weren't catering the offense to his skill set, you know. And we talked about this, I think we had this conversation before about Matt Eberflus, but like you look at the Commanders, this is how I know the Commanders have a really good organization. Like starting off, right? Look at what they did. They knew they were going to get a rookie quarterback. So did the Bears. The Bears knew they were going to get a rookie quarterback. The Patriots, they knew they were going to get a rookie quarterback. And what did all three organizations do? The Patriots went and got a new head coach.
True.
The Commanders went and got a new head coach. And what did the Bears do? They kept the same dude
same head coach
from last year. Why? He had no success. He had no signs of success. Just get a new guy. And then it's not like he has a track record. Like, does he have a track record of success? No. Mayo, at least he's been in the organization all his whole career. As a player, as a coordinator, now he's a head coach. So they trust him. Us, Dan Quinn, former Super Bowl champion. Former Super Bowl appearing coach.
He's a champ too.
Right. Well, as a DC, right?
Oh yeah.
He went to Super Bowl twice as a DC, won once. He was the orchestra of statistically the greatest defense in NFL history, statistically. All right, the Legion of Boom. Also, look what he did with Dallas defense. He just showed up, and they went from vanilla to chocolate ice cream. All right, that was really good, right? I don't even like chocolate ice cream for real. I like
you can say French vanilla.
Yeah.
but vanilla is always like, you know. But anyways, he took that from terrible to one of the best defenses. Turnover ratio was high, all that stuff. So
good old days.
It makes sense why they got Dan Quinn. And Dan Quinn is a leader of men. You see how he handled the situation, how he handles the locker room. How he brought Bobby Wagner. Everybody just gravitated to him once he became the head coach, right? And then the coaching staff he developed, all that stuff. But the Bears were the exact opposite. So that was just starting off the season. My man AJ, the Bears, they gonna win the NFC North. Nick Wright on first thing first. The Bears are gonna go to the Super Bowl. What?
Whoa.
Did y'all know who the head coach is? I don't choose the coaching staff. Like they got all. This is the best situation a rookie QB has ever been in NFL history. He got Swift.
I think that's a bad luck thing when it comes to Eagles fans thinking that the Chicago Bears gonna do something.
I don't know what
oh yeah, because did that last year, right?
But
then you got me and the Raiders. I don't know what's up with me and the Raiders. I have no idea.
I think you need to just give up. Just give up on the Raiders, Joe. Just give up on them.
For some reason, I be having hope for the Raiders. I don't know why.
Derek Carr not even there no more, Joe. You can let it go. He gone, Joe.
Like, I don't get it. It was Antonio Pierce because he did a good job. Anyway, but he deserved to be fired, basically.
He ain't got no more words for him.
He did. There's no reason why he is. They should have waited till the end of the season, but he don't need to be there no more.
Hey, like Tomo said, the way they were losing, maybe this was the right time. He lost a lot a long time ago.
Yeah. And then some of his answers to certain questions just didn't make sense. Did y'all hear what he said? Was it last week when he challenged to play? I get that you challenged to play because you thought he might have stepped out of bounds, but your answer made no sense. He said the reason why he challenged it is because it was an explosive play. Because they're supposed to play, you challenge to play. That don't make sense. Now, if you said that, I looked and it seemed like he stepped out of bounds, that's why I threw the flag. Even though you didn't have the angle to see if he stepped out of bounds or not, it didn't make sense. And then he didn't win a challenge at all. He's 0-6 in challenges he's made all year. So
no accountability in the press conference. Go ahead, you about to say something, Tomo?
Nah, Dave actually alluded to it. I'm like, they probably had to, when they said they had the meeting with him and they were probably going to wait till the end of the season. Dave said it. He has bad answers. So they probably asked him a question and he had another bad answer. They said, when he walked out, they said, you know what, bro, we got to do it. We got to do it. We asked him what today was. He said Wednesday. He got to go, bro. He got to go. He got to go.
Got to go.
That's what happened. You're right. They said they gave him a chance to respond to the critics and then they fired him at noon. Yeah, you're right.
Yes. He said that was a good idea. All right, let's from the hopeless to the hopeful, man. We gotta talk about it, man. Now, if Blaze is watching this, he's gonna appreciate this title a little bit more than most, but staying alive. Now, there's a pundit, and if you don't understand, then it is what it is. But after defeating the New York Giants 27-20, the Dallas Cowboys find themselves on a 2-game win streak. And also after 4 weeks of Tomo saying this season is over, the Dallas Cowboys find themselves on a 2-game win streak. Mm-hmm. Joe also told Tomo that, hey, man, you should have hope. Micah coming back. I can't believe I'm repeating this. Your defense isn't healthy, Tomo, but these players are coming back. They can get pressure on the quarterback. And things can happen. And I was like, Joe, they was losing when he was here.
Joe, Tom, don't worry. He told me the same thing about San Francisco. Now look at us.
I know.
Yeah, don't lose hope.
I know.
See, here you go again.
And now the Cowboys with a 4% chance to make the playoffs. Michael Parsons has a word to the masses.
4% chance.
So is my video on? Oh, so they just gonna do me like that? So y'all gonna do me like that on national TV? I did that on purpose. That's the hope that the Cowboys have. All we have is no sound. That's what we have right now. That's the chances of hope that the Cowboy fans should have to make the playoffs. But honestly speaking, I wanted to come on here and kill the dreams and kill the hopes. But I did something that I didn't find myself doing since Jason Garrett was the head coach. I went on the ESPN playoff machine, and I did all 4 weeks. Cowboys got to win out if they want to make the playoffs. Cowboys need the Commanders to at least lose 2 games to make the playoffs. The Cowboys also need the 49ers to lose at least 1 or 2 games for them to make the playoffs. Because right now, there's a tight race between the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys to make a wild card spot. But right now, as we look at Joe, who's sitting in that last seed spot right now, if you all tank it, we can potentially 1 or 2 of us can actually make it. But the remaining schedule, the 4 teams, Cardinals 6-5. Dave just got to do some work for us right there. Bucks, Cowboys still play the Bucks. Rams, Dave got to do some more work for us right there. And then the 49ers. So it's a conflicting spot to be in when Cooper Rush is your quarterback and your offense doesn't look as prolific as it should. But they finally got a rusher to run over 100 yards. It's been 26 games since the Cowboys seen a 100-plus yard rusher, and it was Rico Dowdle's first 100 yards. And I also want to note one more thing. It's been 334 days since the Cowboys won a home game, and this is probably why the hopium is through the roof. Not with the stuff falling, but it's through the roof with the Dallas Cowboys right now. Me being a real fan, and I'm going to be realistic with you, the same chances that they have to make the playoffs is the same amount of hope that I have for them. 4%. I'm going to stick with the statistics, but I still think the season's over, Joe. I like what I'm seeing out of the defense, but I still think it's over. Dave, do you think the Cowboy fans should have hope?
No.
As a 49er fan, I like it.
No. And it's not to say that y'all can't win some games, because I think it's possible, because if you look at the Bengals, that's your very next game on Monday night. That's possible. That's the possible game that you can win, because it's the Bengals. You never know what they can do. They haven't their defense hasn't played particularly well this year. I can't say nothing about their offense because Joe Burrow has had games where he looked like he should be an MVP candidate, and Jamar Chase has looked like the best wide receiver in the league this year, especially if he plays against the Ravens. No shot against the Ravens, but you know what he's done to you guys' defense in both games this year.
Until the question. Sorry, go ahead.
Then you got the Panthers. The only thing is the Panthers have actually been playing pretty well this year. If you look at, they almost beat the Chiefs this past Sunday. Bryce Young is looking like he deserved to be the number 1 overall pick. If not, he looks like he deserved to at least be a pick in the first round. And was it not last year, but the year before, 2 years ago. Then you got the Bucks. They're getting healthy. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They're getting healthy. So I don't see you guys beating the Buccaneers. That's just me. The next 2 games I possibly can see, but I don't see you guys winning. I don't see you guys beating the Buccaneers or the Eagles. Now the Eagles is the divisional game, so you definitely have a chance to win that. But I just don't see how you guys are going to be able to stop Saquon Barkley, who's on a hot streak right now. He's looking like he's about to break the rushing record in the NFL. He looks like he's about to break a record and possibly win the MVP if the Eagles win out. Eagles still got to take care of business on Sunday, but if the Eagles play well, or if Sunday is the only game they lose the rest of the season, that means they go 14-3. That means he has a great chance to be in the MVP talks. And then you got the Commanders at home. So you just got your first home win all season. So you got the Commanders at home in the last game of the year. So that's another game that you possibly can win. But I feel like the Commanders are going to go in there with revenge on their minds and come back and come out with a win. I don't see you guys being able to win out because I think you have to win out in order to make the playoffs. I don't see that happening.
Data's made a case. Y'all gonna lose all your games. That's the season.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe Mark was his hype man for that one, but he was like, "Tom, I hope don't mix." And Dave was like, "Yep, it don't," and this is why.
Hey, Data literally went on a rampage of how y'all gonna lose every game.
Hey, it's possible.
All right. But here's the thing, Tomo. I'm gonna be real with you on there. If I'm a Cowboy fan at this moment, I'm not gonna be hopeful. Okay. And at this moment, and it's because the 2 teams, well, after beating the Commanders, you could say, you know what, we got some hope to. Well, you don't think you got a playoffs hope because it's still like you feel like it's too late, right? You're 4-7, you beat the Commanders, okay, cool, good win, but it's fully 4-7. That's a long way to go. Then you win your first home game, but we got to remind the fans that who was the opponent, the Giants, who y'all already beat this year in New York. So it's like, okay, cool. We won our first home game, but it's against the Giants. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to put too much stock on it. Now, I got to give you this, Tomo. If y'all go Monday night and y'all defense look really good against Joe Burrow's offense and y'all win, if I'm you, I'm clinging on some hope. Because you look at the road. Y'all got to play the Panthers. No, I'm being real. This is not me trying to troll. Me being real, all right? You name the teams that are ahead of you. The Cardinals, start with them. Well, let's do the Cardinals, Rams, that division. The 49ers, right? The good thing about that division, Tomo, they got to beat each other up. The Cardinals got to play the Rams and the 49ers. The Rams got to beat the Cardinals and the 49ers. The 49ers got to play the Cardinals and the Rams. So 3 losses are coming from those 3. You know what I mean? That's
Somebody got to lose, right?
They're losing. On top of that, 49ers play Buffalo still, right? They play Buffalo still. So, and they do play at home, but still, that's a tough game for them. They do play New Orleans at New Orleans.
We're not at home. We're on the road. What you talking about?
No, y'all play. Oh, I'm tripping.
We in Buffalo.
I'm tripping. This is the Rams schedule. Y'all play Buffalo this week in the snow. So hopefully they don't cancel it. Tom, for your sake. In the snow. So they play Buffalo, and a lot of people are already saying that might be an L because of the weather, but I don't know because the 49ers like to run the ball too, and that could favor them also. So we'll see. But what's wrong with that? What?
Cowboys.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna say my
snow. You think Cowboys threw the ball 50 times in the snow? He better than that. But so we'll see. Anyways, but so you like to run the ball. So anyways, you got some hope right there. And then us, we're 2 games behind y'all. 2 games. Y'all already beat us. So you had a tiebreaker so far.
Oh, y'all did lose to the Eagles.
Yeah, we lost to the Eagles. Now you look at us, we still gotta play the Eagles again. We still gotta play the Falcons, who's a decent team. Y'all just need us to lose one more game. And then destiny could be in your hands if it comes down to the last game of the season. In Dallas. Oh, that's not a good thing. But you know,
Exactly.
we can also,
There's a
This
little reason
last
why I
year,
would have hope for
maybe.
that, though. Hold on.
Last
I'll
year,
tell you
maybe.
this
This year, I don't know.
I don't know, Dave. You might change your mind once I drop this Woj bomb on you. I got
But-
a reason why we might have some hope if it comes down to that. But go ahead.
hey, y'all might get Lawrence. Lawrence might be back by then. Diggs healthy. Basically, y'all should be fully healthy without Dak when that game comes in, right? So if I'm you, like I said, right now I'm not clicking to that hope. But if they beat the Bengals on primetime television Monday night,
At
then
home.
I'm like, y'all, we got a chance to make the playoff. Y'all 6-7 at that point.
It's at home.
But that's what I'm
Play the
saying. Y'all got to
Bengals.
win. That's what I'm saying. Y'all have to win. If y'all win, because this was a fluky. We won, but it's not a real win. You know what I mean? But the Bengals, although Bengals been struggling, they often have been prolific. So if the Bengals are healthy with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and y'all do a great job defensively against that team and win, I'll take that. If I'm you, I'm like, you know what? We got some hope.
Now let's say in a magical world, because I know they want to address that Kyle Shanahan point, but if it comes down to the Commanders playing the Cowboys for the 7th seed, Joe, I don't know if you recall this, but Decorius said this on the actual panel.
He did.
And Decorius also said, this is why I laugh, that y'all would win and go to the playoffs with the 7th seed. Me, myself, at that time was being a little cocky, and I was like, why would we be playing y'all for the 7th seed? We already going to be in the playoffs at that point, so y'all can have that game. If it all plays out the way Decorius said, he got to come on the show, man. I apologize to him on air. I would. But if it go the opposite way, hey, Decorius, I'm coming to Facebook. I'm coming to your home turf, and I got some words for you. Because ain't no way we supposed to be here.
Well, last time we had a rookie quarterback that played against Dallas for all the marbles to get to the playoffs.
On Thanksgiving too, huh?
No. We played on Thanksgiving, but we played the last game of the season. And, you know, Alfred Morris had a great game.
Coach,
he had a game-stealing first down. You know, London Fletcher caught Tony Romo's interception at the end of the game. RG3 playing with a brace on his leg, still came out and played. We had to beat the Giants and the Cowboys back-to-back games too, by the way, Dave. Giants still in the hope. We beat the Giants, we knocked them out, we beat the Cowboys. So, I don't know. But it's a different season, though. You know what I mean? Different season. Y'all got hope if y'all beat the Bengals.
I'll give you that. I can agree with that.
Hold up.
They got hope if they beat the Bengals and the Panthers. It's after that for me.
Time out. So if Dave's team lose to the Bills, y'all got the same record?
Yeah.
That's it. I just want to make sure. I want to make sure I wasn't tripping. I wonder who got the tiebreaker. Who's higher in the season?
They got it because they beat them.
We beat them. What you mean?
Yeah, that's why I said they need to lose some games.
We beat them.
Yeah.
But if the draft would have started today, if they lose and the draft starts, then the 49ers have a higher draft pick because y'all have a better division record.
No, we
out
here.
We beat the Patriots last year, Dave. We finished with the same record, but they have a better division record.
Because they got what 3 divisional wins right now?
Yeah, they got 3.
Because they swept the Giants and then they beat y'all.
We 3-1. My bad. We lost to the Eagles.
And what are y'all, Dave?
1-3.
Dang. They lost to everybody. All right, you're right. Yeah,
we lost the game to everybody. We only team we beat was the Seahawks. So we have to beat the Cardinals and the Rams next time we play them. This is what I wanted to say about Kyle Shanahan. It's not about him throwing the ball. I don't think he's going to throw the ball crazily on Sunday. It's who he chooses to run the ball with. That's my issue. If he just runs with CMC all game, I don't see it happening.
He ran with your other boy last game though. He didn't use CMC the whole game.
You want to know how many rushes Jordan Mason has had in the last 3 games, Joe?
What about last game though?
Let me ask you. Let me tell you this.
How many?
He had 3 carries the last 3 games altogether, Joe.
3 carries. That's it.
3. That's it. He had 2 carries the last game. That's it. Just 2. He had a carry for 6 yards and for 16 yards, and that was it.
Yeah, he had that 16-yard one. What the world? That's it.
Exactly. That's my issue with Kyle Shanahan. He's running CMC into the ground. He's not using his other. He's not using his other 2 running backs.
Yeah.
I understand what CMC is capable of, but he's just coming off of 2 Achilles injuries.
Yeah.
You use the other 2 running backs you've had to ease him into it. He's not easing him into it. He's just throwing him into it. I don't understand.
But last game was different. Well, so he had 3 carries last game, Jordan Mason. But
before that, he had no carries in the other 2 games, Joe.
Chris McCaffrey had 11, but y'all were playing from behind too. Y'all do the ball a lot more.
Joe, it don't matter. He's not running him. It's my issue. It's my thing. He's not running the ball with him for real.
Man, you just don't like Scott. Then you gonna find your ways.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, Joe. I'm gonna invite you next time I get in one of the Cowboys spaces and that 49er fan jump in. I'm gonna invite you, Joe, so you can hear how she also sounds like Dave. Like,
I keep telling people that I'm not the only Niner fan that feels like this. If you go on the other 49ers, everybody feels like that.
Mark made a good point. Because I know what our team.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Before he even says that, yes, he does. He does make that substitution. He said that after the game. He said, "I didn't want to run Christian McCaffrey because we don't do that as a team." He makes that decision. So that's scratch that out. It's not the running back coach. It's Kyle Shanahan that makes that.
Kyle Shanahan said what? You said what?
He said that the only reason why he does not use Jordan Mason and Isaiah Guerrero is because he does not want to use. That's not the kind of team that he likes to run. He does not like to run a running back committee. If whoever the start is gets the bulk of the carries. That's why. It's not the running back coach.
He's been his whole career running back by committee until C-Mac got in there.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
At least you. Now you see why we have issues with Kyle
They
Shanahan.
fed up, bro.
They call them Shanastans, man. People who defend Kyle Shanahan, they call them Shanastans. I was like, wow. They got a nickname for him and everything. I was like, y'all can get rid of him though. Like, I'll gladly be mad at Kyle Shanahan in Dallas. I know you don't want to fire him, but I understand your frustration.
Nah, he do want to fire. Let's move on.
Yes, last year I did. For me, it's. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused.
What you asked for?
I'm conflicted.
Nah, because
I'm giving him some passes because we've had endless injuries this year, and I get it.
Yeah, we know. But you name all the 160 injuries.
Yeah, man, 160. Yeah, because I thought about it. I said, I wanted Jason Garrett gone. Jason Garrett didn't do anything. I said Kellen Moore needs to be gone. Kellen Moore's doing exactly. He's on track, and the Eagles fans talked about it earlier in the chats. He's right on track. He's doing all the numbers and statistic things. So we'll see how that plays out when they need it. But let's move on.
Jason Garrett, though, bro. We all saw that. Like,
yeah. Hey, Jason Garrett.
Hey, we got Mr. 12-5 over here. I mean, Mike McCarthy looks like he's going down that same rabbit hole. But we'll see what happens. But from Mike McCarthy to, let's say Matt Eberflus getting fired, to Mike McCarthy finding a way to make this team fight, and Zimmer defense getting back, to Kyle Shanahan not doing running back by committee, to Mike McDaniels and his team just when it's time to go to the cold. Mike McDaniels' team is really like a person who lives in Florida. Because as soon as they go up to the Midwest, they like, man, it's too cold for us. And that's what happened last night, man. We got to talk about it. I wish J-Mo was here to talk about it also. I know Teddy somewhere smiling, DeVore somewhere talking about Jalen Hurts. And I'm trying to find some more Dolphins fans to even talk about this game. But not finished yet. Tua comes back and Tua's having a decent game until it gets cold outside. And you tell the critics that, hey, man, I'm going to play better when it's cold out. And it didn't look that much good yesterday. So are the Dolphins' playoff hopes over? Joe.
You know what's funny? The toughest game on the remainder of their schedule to me. If y'all, I hope y'all looking at the schedule right now. All right. The toughest, I'm gonna say for the people that's watching, they play home against the Jets, they play at Houston, they play home against the 49ers, they play at Cleveland, they play at the New York Jets. The toughest game to me is at Cleveland. Yes,
Knew it. I
they
knew
play.
you was gonna say that. I knew it.
They play at Cleveland
In
Sunday
December.
on the 29th of December. Sunday night football. Jameis Winston prime time. That's gonna be a cold game. Now I gotta get to it some props. I'm not gonna lie. He looked better than what he normally looks in the cold. I will give him that because he's normally a complete no-show in the cold. But he was better. He had his throws, and I was like, dang, to it, like he missing these like on key downs though. I'm talking about third down, but missing throws, right? But I gotta give him props. He wore no sleeves. He was sleeveless. So he was trying to embrace, like, I am not scared of I'm not cold. His coach, on the other hand, red nose, got a hat. Their whole sideline look cold. Josh Jacobs said, them boys cold. Them boys too cold. You know? So, and Josh Jacobs came from Vegas. It ain't cold over there. So, I'm going to say they playoff hosts. Are they over? Now, they do have a shot, but I'm going to say yes, man. They're 5-7 right now. And the good thing about the AFC is it's not as top heavy. Not top heavy. You have a better shot of making the playoffs in the AFC than you do in the NFC. NFC, you got like 3 teams in the NFC North got 9 wins. You know what I mean? Right? When I look at the standings in the playoff picture, you look at the AFC, the number 7 seed of the Broncos 7-5, and then below that 5-7. Like literally, the Miami Dolphins are tied for 8th place in the playoff race, right? So they can make it, but it's gonna be tough because they gotta play y'all. The key. All right, look, I said the toughest game of the Browns game, but the key game is against the 49ers. I think they will have to win out probably. No, you know what? I'm changing my mind on the fly, y'all. Because Denver got to play the Chiefs again. They also got to play the Chargers again, who both of them are kind of tired, right? Chargers and Denver. They're going to battle out for a spot. You know, we ain't worrying about Baltimore and above. Like 5 and above is kind of like a lot, kind of, in my opinion, in the playoffs. So I'm going to say it's not over. It's not over. I'm going to say it's not over. Now, they have to win out most likely, and not really. They can lose one more game, in my opinion, and still make the playoffs probably. If they go 9-8, they can make the playoffs. All depends on what Denver does, because I'm not a believer in the coach no more. I'm gonna say yes. They still in the race, y'all.
Yo.
Go ahead. I'm trying to keep this now. Tomo gotta do it.
But the Texans is in that 5 and above, Joe. That's why I was like.
But the Texans, they division. I mean, unless the coach come take it from them.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing. And they already beat the coach twice.
And the Dolphins got to play them too. So
they got to actually. They are literally 3 games in front of the coach for real. If you think about it, 3 games.
I think they got a shot too.
Yeah,
I think they have a chance too. My thing is I think they can only afford to lose 1 game.
Same.
If they lose 2, then I think that's it. Because I don't believe in the Jets. Let's just be honest about it. I don't believe in the Jets. just a 3-8. I don't see the Jets going into Miami and beating them. I also am very questionable about the Texans. Texans have given away leads and lost games they should have won. They should have beaten the Titans. They should have beaten the Lions when they had the chance, and they choked that game away. That game right there told me everything. To the reason having caused 5 turnovers on defense, and you still lose the game because your quarterback can't get you into scoring position, it's not good. CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump. Joe predicted this in the preseason, and it's coming to fruition now. He is not playing his game right now. I don't know if he's playing scared, but it looks like it at times. If you just look at his face sometimes when he's in pressure downs, he doesn't look as confident as he did last year. He looks like he's pressing. He looks like he's pressing, and he's talking a lot more than normal. I'm sorry to say this, but I think he hung around Micah too much this offseason. I think it's starting to rub off on him.
I wasn't
I
gonna
think
say
he hung
that.
around Micah a little bit too much all season. Now he's having a bad season right now. Because he had all this promise. They went and got Stephon Diggs. Nico Collins was having a good season, and I get it. Stephon Diggs after the rest of the season, you ain't gonna see him no more the rest of this year. Nico Collins has been in and out of lineups. Tank Dell had, I mentioned this in the last time we talked about the Texans. Tank Dell had got shot in the offseason, and now you got to look about what's going on with him now. So, but Tank Dell was there. You went and got Joe Mixon, who started off hot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like the Texans are just up and down. So I don't know. I think the Dolphins have a good chance to win that game because it's not like he's going into the cold. He's going to Texas. And Tua, since he got back from injury, has thrown for 13 touchdowns and 1 interception since he got back from his concussion. So Tua has been balling. And last night, he threw for 346 yards and 2 touchdowns. I get it. His QBR was bad. It was only 61.7, but he still threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the cold. So you think he's not going to be able to do that in Texas? I think he's going to be able to do that in Texas. San Francisco, I mean, we going into Miami. I don't know who's going to be playing in that game because it's injuries almost every single week. We still don't know if Brock Purdy is going to be playing this Sunday because he was limited in practice yesterday, so we don't know if he's going to play. Trent Williams is right now in practice rolling around in a knee roller, so he's not even walking properly right now. So we don't know if he's going to play. Honestly, if that's a toss-up game. That's a toss-up game. If we're healthy and we actually play the way that we're supposed to, and even though our leader on defense has been injured since week 4 with an ankle injury, he's played every single game since then. But everyone else is pretty much out. Tua, our passing defense is not good. Let's just put it out there. The pass defense is not good. We give up players on. I think we're like 20 or 25th in the league in passing defense. It's not good at all. It's bad. And our rushing defense hasn't been good as of late. If you see, we just gave up our first 100-yard rusher this past Sunday against Josh Jacobs and them guys in like the last 37 games that we've had. So we're losing steam there. So for me, the 2 games to watch for them to lose would be the last 2 games. It's because both of those games are going to be in the cold. And even though that last game is against the Jets, it's in the cold. So I don't know. I think Tua is 0-9 in cold games in his career.
Under 32 degrees like that.
He's 0-9. He's not somebody who's going to win a game in the cold. Even though he played okay last night, even though his stats look good, like Joe said, there were key downs where he was missing plays. So then Tyreek has not been what Tyreek was last year. We don't hear about Tyreek at all this year. Have we had a Tyreek Hill kind of a game this year at all? I don't think so. We hear about other guys. Nico Collins started to play great this year. CeeDee Lamb has been consistent. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. I can name all these other wide receivers who's had better games than Tyreek Hill this year. And Tyreek Hill was voted number 1 player in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gone missing. He's gone. Joe, you know what? I got to make an addition to today's doghouse. Now that I just mentioned it, I got to make an addition to today's doghouse. So it's
he scored yesterday.
I don't know. Okay, that's the first time he scored in how many games? First time he scored in how many games? Jalen Waddle has had a better season this year than he has. So I don't know. There's some hope there. They just can't. They can only afford to lose 1 game. If they lose 2, that's it.
See, the last 2 games been on the road and they both been in the cold. I still give the Dolphins some hope. I can't come on here and say if the Cowboys beat the Bengals on Monday night, I have a little bit more hope and sit up here and look at the Dolphins team who practically are better when Tua is playing. And literally, I would say the franchise is better when Tua is playing, and that kind of makes sense of why they're making all the decisions they've been making with his career. Because while he was out, that team looked abysmal. I mean, I had A-Chain on my fantasy team, and he did not play good until Tua came back. Traded him to Dave, and if Tua's in the game, I gave you Tua and A-Chain, so you got the duo. So yeah, anytime Tua's around, that whole offense just looks better. Again, I don't know what's going on with Tyreek Hill. Maybe it's a mental thing as far as him being voted as the #1 player. Again, we don't talk about curses a lot, but that could be a situation there because it's like it wasn't actually warranted that you were the best player in the NFL last year. You did play good, but where's the consistency there? And I know a Chiefs GM is somewhere saying like, y'all still calling me crazy? Telling y'all. But I still give them a little bit of hope. I'm with you on the Texans too. I had a lot of hope for the Texans, just as far as them adding a new weapon and them coming back. But I never sat back and thought that Stroud would fall under the Michael Parsons banner. I know they were going on a lot of tours and stuff, and they were doing a lot of stuff for Bleacher Report and Madden and all of that. But it's just like maybe there's a difference in the quarterback doing it and a pass rusher doing it because, again, the assignments are a little bit different. And, again, you did add a new addition to your team by going and getting Stephon Diggs, and then the run game is there. So, Joe, just be on the lookout for that too, because that team did kind of creep up on some people last year. And now this year they're going through some struggles, but that's neither here nor there. I think they steal it though. I think they sneak in. I think they got it. My hopes would be high if I was a Miami fan. They're definitely higher than if I was a Cowboys fan.
You think they'll sneak in?
I think they'll sneak in.
Yeah, the LC is easy to get in. The bottom is not. It's like I said, they tied for 8th with 5-7. Dang, if y'all win the ALC, I'll be tied for 8th.
Yeah, and we be looking at the Broncos. See, that's the only downfall because now I got to sit and deal with Bibby and Tyler and the Broncos winning. But again, it's too many teams that got division lineups down the road. Where it's like if the Dolphins could beat the Jets, I know Devontae Adams got a lot to say the next time he go on somebody's interview, but that's it right there. They can win the 2 division games. They beat the 49ers, and then it's like, all right, we got to go duke it out in Cleveland and find a way to beat the Texans. But again, the hope is still there because those games, the last 2 games are in the code. Everything else is climate control. And
they've been playing well since Tua got back. So playing a whole different team.
Balling.
So yeah, hope's high. First off, it's getting down to the crunch time.
Yeah. And crunch time rolls right into lunchtime because I need to go eat in a minute. But we got to do our weekly segment. I'm glad Dave is here for this one. Because Dave, we got to talk about it off air. We're still thinking of a name. I had a name. I didn't write it down, Joe, and I forgot it. So right now, this week, we're going with Upset Alert. Actually, if I go back, I'm going to go back and listen to the segment because that's how I can remember some things. Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to do our weekly Upset Alert. Last week, Joe, you picked the Titans over the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Cowboys over the Commanders. Mm-hmm. Again, that was more so the point spread. But again, thanks a lot. Shout out to Vegas for helping me out with that one. And what we do here is we find the upset of the week. So basically, you pick an underdog and you got to describe why you picked this underdog to win that game. And because, Dave, this is your very first one, we're going to roll out the red carpet for you. Who you got?
We just talked about one of these teams. And they are on the road in a divisional game.
Ooh, you better be my team. Go ahead.
I'm picking the Jaguars to upset the Texans.
Ooh.
I don't know if y'all have paid attention to what I put in the NFL chat today, but Trevor Lawrence is playing this Sunday. Trevor Lawrence is playing against the Texans this Sunday. And I believe the Texans, for me, it looks like the Texans are the Jaguars of last year. It seems like they're just slipping the division away right now. CJ Stroud has not showed me anything to say that he can win a game that he's supposed to win. Supposed to win a game against the Lions, even though the Lions were actually, if you look at the Lions record, they were the better team technically. But if you look at how that game played, they were up 24-0 and lost the game. So you got that. And even with the Texans being on the road, they're a 3.5 point favorite. So that means that the Jaguars are expected to lose a home game because the Jaguars, they already give them 3, for being at home. And I don't trust the Texans right now. I just don't. I don't trust them. I don't trust the Texans right now. And even though they did just get upset, I see another one possibly happening right now. Because the last time they played against the other game they played against the Jaguars was close. It's not like they blew them out. It's not like they beat them 44-3. It was a close game. Yeah. And if you look at Calvin Ridley this year, he's actually played.
I guess we're not looking at Calvin Ridley because he ain't played. As soon as you gotta take the FanDuel down. As soon as you brought up FanDuel and
There
he
you
said
go.
Calvin Ridley, the
Uh-huh.
internet. Yeah, we gotta take this comment down. The internet
Sorry.
ain't like that.
All right. Come on, Teddy, you messing us up, man. You're messing us up, Teddy. But Calvin Ridley has actually come into his own this season. And I don't for some reason, I just, like I said, I don't trust the Texans right now. This was a team I was high on, of course, because of their head coach, of course, being he was the former defensive coordinator for the 49ers. But even with that, just the way that they loaded talent this offseason, they went and got Danielle Hunter, who was highly sought after this offseason. You got the, reigning defensive rookie of the year, Will Anderson back there. You got Jason Pittyre. You got these defensive players. You got Jimmy Ward. You got guys coming in. You just went and got Azeez Al-Shaair, who's also was under the head coach in San Francisco. And then you got CJ Stroud, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. You had all of this, and you got Dalton Schultz. Don't forget about the tight end. Can't forget about him.
Oh.
So, but you're 7-5, and you're losing games you should win. So I think the Jaguars beat the Texans on Sunday.
I like that one, Dave. I already do.
Yeah, I'm gonna do another underdog ticket. I don't bet, but I'll be doing these underdog tickets since we've been doing this one. I almost won last week. Shout out to the Commander. Joe, who you got?
Crazy, Dave. I wanted to pick the Jags on unfazed, but Trevor Lawrence was out. But now he's playing. I really like that pick too. Texas over the Jags over the. I really do. All right, my upset pick alert, and this team is a 2.5 dog at home. They are at home, and they are a 2.5 dog. Teddy, you gonna be happy? I got the Patriots over the Colts. So Patriots over the Colts. Now the Colts got something to play for, especially if the Texans lose to the Jaguars. They have a chance to creep up to that division title. But as y'all know, Richardson is the quarterback. He's not the most completion percentage is not at a high rate, which favors the Patriots. Also, they haven't really been scoring the ball. Now, I understand he wasn't a part of all 7 games, but 6 of their last 7 games, they scored under 20 points. Every time the Patriots held a team under 21 points, they won this season. So the only team that except for one time, the only team that beat the Patriots scoring under 21 was the Dolphins. They won 15-10. All right, but everybody else, they lost. So the only game they didn't score, they did score over 21 points. The Colts were against the Jets. All right, so come on now, the Jets is not too much to be bragging about. So in those 7 games, the quarterback play has been very good against the Colts. All right, so I think that Drake May will have a good game, and I think Anthony Richardson will have a terrible game playing the Patriots defense. So I'm going with the Patriots on the upset alert. Shout out to Teddy.
All right, Joe. I thought you were gonna pick my team, man. I go with the true underdogs. I go with the underdogs that really be the underdogs. And this team has been an underdog since our off-season preview. They actually were supposed to tie with the Broncos. I picked them once. I'm gonna go for the third. This is my third time. Third time's gonna be the charm. I lost with the Broncos. I lost with the Commanders. And if you don't know and if you haven't been watching, my underdog of the week is the Panthers.
I like it.
They have a divisional opponent. They go up against the the Bucks. See, I gotta stop thinking about the Broncos. I need to go to Walmart actually.
Now you need this win, Tomo. You need this win.
That's a little bit of why too. It's a little bit of personal. It's a little bit of personal reasons there also, but it can backfire because if the Bucks lose, then they can roll into Dallas and they'll be like, all right, we need to get a win. And then we got to play the Panthers. And they're like, well, we already been losing, but they've been playing good. So once they made the switch back to the quarterback, I mean, again, hopefully Andy Dalton's doing good. But I thought they was going to kill this young quarterback's pride, but he's been playing better. The defense has actually been playing better. And some of these rookies have been stepping up as well. They got the Buccaneers by 6. They say the Panthers. Well, it's funny. The Panthers lead the record 25-22. And Baker Mayfield is 3-0 against this team. So it's only fitting that Baker Mayfield loses to this team. And if I'm saying it again, I'm going with the points. Take the points, not the money line. If you are putting this on your ticket, I will take the points. And I think that the Panthers will cover. Those are my underdogs.
It's funny. I had picked them when we did our preseason preview. I picked the Panthers to win this game.
Well, I already got them at 3. Dave, I think you had them winning 5 games this year. So
You keep slicing it. It wasn't 5 games. I think it was 2 or 3. It wasn't 5.
oh, okay. Because I know I had them
It was the
winning
Broncos that I probably had like that. That I think it had like maybe like 5 wins, not the Panthers.
Yeah, nah, they shocked everybody, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
They would have to be my Sean Payton win coach of the year if we did votes on when we do our votes on R2L. Just because of how bad I trashed him. But
I wouldn't give it to him.
I'm saying only because of my trash talk. I know who really earned it. Thanks, Dan. I had to smile when I said it. But I mean, this is the matchup that we've been talking about. The NFL guys have given the NFL chat, the R2L NFL chat, the matchups that we requested. We've been seeing people go back and forth. A lot of teams are falling off by the wayside as far as trash talk. Some people are still holding on when it comes to trash talk. But we have the 2 birds that have been going back and forth since last year. And shout out to my man Kev. It's 13. We're going to say Android 13 because it is week 13. We have the Eagles versus the Ravens. We have Jalen Hurts versus Lamar Jackson. We have the 2 free agent running backs. The 2 free agent running backs that get talked about the most every time they do something and the other team I've never seen who did Joe pick.
No, I was pointing at him.
Okay.
I picked y'all, Teddy. I picked y'all with the Colts. Go ahead.
Yep. The 2 free agent running backs that every time they go to break a record or score a touchdown, I've never seen other teams get brought up so much when another team is winning. Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry. They're both leading. They're both going back and forth with rushing. After Saquon just comes off his 255-yard rushing game against the Los Angeles Rams, we have to do a preview. Either way we go with this one, we're going to get killed in the chats, fellas. So we might as well make the pick now. Dave, who do you have winning this game?
It would be me. It would be me because I'm the one that had the 2 battles with these 2 guys these 2 teams last year with the beefs as far as in the chats. We know what came of the Eagles game and we know what came of the Ravens game. I was on both sides of the spectrum. This game was actually not easy to pick whatsoever because even the Ravens are 8-4, but I know how explosive this offense can be, but I know how bad this passing defense can be. They have improved. The last game their passing defense and the game before that against the Steelers, they actually played pretty well. The Eagles have been explosive since their bye week. They on a 6-7 game win streak, and they just seem to be kind of sort of unstoppable. Saquon Barkley has been a monster on the ground. You know, he had 255 rushing yards alone last game. I think it was 306 total or something like that. But I know over 300 yards total in that game. You know, they got A.J. Brown. We're still trying to see if Devontae Smith is going to play on Sunday. But I think the winner of this game is going to be the home team. I think the Ravens win this game. I think Lamar Jackson is going to, you know, he's 23-3 against the NFC. He's 23-1 over the last 24 games against the NFC, but 23-3 overall. He did lose his first 2 NFC games against the Panthers and the Saints when he in 2018. And then the last game he lost was in 2022 against the Giants. But he's won every single game against the NFC since then. And I honestly don't see that changing. Even though the Eagles are an explosive offense, I believe that their defense is going to play up to par because they play better when they play against better teams, especially when it comes to someone like the Steelers. Because if you look at that game against the Steelers, what was the question? The question was the defense. How's their passing defense going to look? And they actually stepped up in that game. So, and they stepped up the last 2 games on defense as far as passing. So, and I expect that to continue. Because one thing about the Ravens, they're an opportunistic team, and that's how they play when they play against teams that are up to par or better than them. And I expect that to happen this Sunday. Now, I think What also will be a key is how are they going to be able to contain Saquon Barkley? Are they going to allow a 70, 50, 60-yard run from Saquon? That's not normally what you see when it comes to a Ravens defense. So I don't see that happening, honestly, even though fantasy-wise, I want it to happen because I need it. But I honestly don't see that happening against the Ravens rushing defense. But one thing I can say is that the Eagles do have a really good chance to win this game if they're able to throw the ball on the Ravens, because the Ravens, they're overall this year, their pass defense has not been good, but their rushing defense is number 2 in the league. So they have a really good rushing defense, and I think that they're going to make Kellen Moore they're going to make Kellen Moore throw the ball a lot more than what he should do. They're going to make Kellen Moore have a Kellen Moore kind of a game. We know what Kellen Moore has times where he'll run the ball, but we know he's known for throwing the ball a lot more than what he needs to. And I think that's what the Ravens are going to do. They're going to make him throw the ball more than he should. And even though Saquon can be involved in the passing game, not saying that he won't make an impact there too, but I just think that the Ravens will win this game because they're going to be able to contain the run game and their passing defense will step up.
So this game here is going to be a tough one because one, I crack my jokes, and AJ said it on Unfazed too. I crack my jokes about Brandon Graham being the oldest player in the NFL, but that's just me cracking my jokes. But he was also keeping that young defensive line. He was actually one of the best pieces of that defensive line when the youngest was still trying to figure it out early in the season. Like Brandon Graham was holding it down, and they lost him, and they're trying to find a replacement for him. Again, Huff was okay. Like Huff wasn't really doing too much. Huff wasn't like Hassan Reddick. Like he wasn't the person they replaced. So they were still trying to find ways there. And the Eagles, they are playing like one of the best teams in the NFL. I know AJ wants to say they are the best team in the NFL. They do look like one of the most complete teams in the NFL, the way they've been playing. But a lot of people also want to bring up their competition and who they've played. And this is why I go to the flip side of what Baltimore has been doing, because the one thing that Chris says in the chat, and it's been proven, every time you all bring somebody out here and say he's the MVP of the league or he's trying to be the MVP of the league, the Ravens come out there and show you why no, you need to put some spec on our name. And I mean, on their name. But I was speaking more so what Chris was saying, quote unquote. And this is going to be one of them games. Normally when they do it, it's a quarterback that they are bringing up and saying they're better than Lamar. But in this terms, I want to see how the Ravens actually step up for the running back, because now they're looking at it like, well, Saquon is balling and he's been playing like the MVP of the league when technically Derrick Henry has been doing the same thing. He hasn't had a 255-yard game, but I really just want to see how the Ravens react to that. And I know their rush defense has been good. And going back to what David said, the pass defense has definitely stepped up. So there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered in this game when you're going up against A.J. Brown. I don't know if Smitty's playing this game, but if Smitty's playing, then you also still got to deal with Dallas Goedert, and you got to deal with that backfield. Not saying that the Ravens can't do it, but I believe they can. But then on the flip side, I want to see how that young Eagles defense and Vic Fangio is going to try to contain Lamar, because you still got Lamar and Zay, and hopefully likely can you do something for me? Like just anything. And it's more so a fantasy thing, but again, Andrews and their offense as well. So I think this game going to live up to the hype. You know who I'm picking. And if you don't know who I'm picking, it is what it is, because I'm going with Baltimore. I think Baltimore going to win it, but I'm here to see an actual good game. So either way, as a fan of football, I think we all going to win, but I'm going with the Ravens. Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Ravens too. This is a clash of two Titans. You got Lamar against the Eagles defense, which has been playing well lately. The Ravens run defense against the Eagles run offense. Ravens had the number 2 rushing defense in the NFL. They do a good job eliminating the rushing attack, although the passing attack can be suspect at times. But in the last couple of games, they've been pretty good defense. They've been solid defensively. They were solid against the Chargers. They were solid against the Steelers also. So, and Roquan Smith will be, well, it's not set in stone, but he's practicing. He's limited, but he should be back, which was big. He got hurt in the middle of the Steelers game when he was playing fantastic. Like, he looked like the overall Roquan against the Steelers that he got hurt, and then he didn't play against the Chargers. So, but he's a big part of our run defense, so he should be back. But here's the thing, though. the reason why I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens is because Tomo mentioned one thing. It's a main event type game, and Lamar don't lose these games. You know what I mean? Like when teams are when the game is built up for Lamar, you know, and it's on a primetime stage. They play that 425. They are the primetime Fox game, right? But it's built up for Lamar, and everybody gotta watch it. And Lamar always wins that. He always wins. He always plays well. Like that's just how Lamar is. You know, like they build up the Bills. What Lamar do this year? He smacked them. They build up Jada Daniels. What Lamar do? He beat Jada Daniels.
Smack them. Oh my
right. Now it's only two teams. He didn't smack them. Only two teams that Lamar have an issue with in primetime: Chiefs and the Steelers.
Yep.
But outside of that, he does his thing. One loss as a starter in the NFC, and that was Danny Dimes. Believe it or not, like it's the only person that ever beat him. Awesome fluke stuff, but he still beat him. But so, and then the Eagles. Here's the thing: the Eagles are an explosive team, but so are the Ravens. The Ravens are also an explosive team. So yeah, I might see Saquon break out for an 80-yard run. But then the next drive, I can see Lamar throw a 65-yard touchdown pass. You know what I mean? Or Derrick Henry run like a 40-yard run, and while Lamar cap it off with a 40-yard pass. So, like, they are very explosive. Like, you got to deal with – now, we're not talking about Jalen Hurts a lot. I think this for them, the Eagles, to win this game, it has to be a Jalen Hurts game. Because the Eagles – now, Carl mentioned in the chat, and I also mentioned it on Unfazed, when you're defending the pass against the Ravens, you got to defend more than like 2 to 3 seconds because Lamar is going to extend time in the pocket and no receiver's going to be running around. Zay Flowers, a really good route runner. Bateman, a really good route runner. And they got 2 tight ends they're working with. So, and you got Deontay Johnson, another really good route runner who hasn't got himself implemented yet. He hasn't really done much, but it's neither here nor there. So I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to live up to the hype. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. And I got the Ravens winning this. And the Ravens are at home. So I got the Ravens winning this.
I also want to say something, too, because I feel like we're not talking enough about the Eagles defense. Eagles defense is also really, really good. They're the number 1 defense in the league right now. Number 1 in yards. They're number 2 in passing defense and 7th in rushing defense. This defense is really, really good. So I think if they're able to also make stops, if they're able to stop Lamar's passing game and contain Derrick Henry, they have a great chance to win this game. So I wanted to say that because I feel like I don't think it was on purpose. I think we were talking more so about the Ravens defense more than we talked about the Eagles defense. But the Eagles defense is really, really good. It's the best defense in the league right now. So we got it. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in any chance. But I also think that yeah. Oh yes, Carl. Okay, I'll correct this. 23-1. All right.
Yeah.
I forgot that he didn't start those 2 games, but he's 23-1 career.
Yeah, now if you're a fan of either team, I don't see how you can come into this game thinking it's going to be a blowout on either side. Because again, the electric
Chris.
I mean, I understand that, but again, when Chris, sometimes Chris will say some stuff and you be like, "Wait, what you talking about?" You know what? I'm gonna give Chris, Mark, and Decorius, I'm gonna give them some props on it because sometimes they'll say some stuff and everybody be like, "Man, what y'all talking about?" And then as the season progresses, it'll actually come to fruition. But Mark, not the Super Bowl expectations. Some of the other stuff you said was right, but that Super Bowl expectations, I'm not letting that one die down. But yeah, I don't see how if you're a fan of both teams, you can go on this and say, "Oh no, we're gonna blow them out." Because again, this goes back to the 49 when they played the 49ers. Both teams, you did not expect it to be a blowout, and then you look up and it was like, "What's going on here?" When the 49ers went into Philly, we didn't expect a blowout. And then, boom, that happened. When the Ravens went into San Francisco, we didn't expect a blowout. And then, boom, that happened. So I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout, but you shouldn't expect it. And if it happens, hopefully I'm on the right side of things and the Ravens win it so I can talk some trash to the Eagles. But if it's the other way around, it's going to be a long week in the chat, fellas. That's all I'm going to say.
Hey, if the Eagles blow the Ravens out, bro, that would be like I don't think I ever seen Lamar get blown out. Like out there in their heights because they got blown out by the Bengals when they were injury riddled. But like Lamar at his best, I never seen Lamar get blown out. Never.
Yeah. And the Eagles are a top 6 defense in as far as points. They allow 18.1 points per game, so they don't allow a lot of points either. So it's going to be a really, really good game. I think it's going to be tough support game, and the best defense will win this game.
Best offense gets the best defense, basically. That's it.
Pretty much.
This will be the game to put Jalen Hurts on the map too. Because for the folks that say Jalen Hurts get a lot of disrespect, if he go out there and ball out, they're gonna have to put some respect on his name.
Especially if Saquon having a tough game and Jalen Hurts is the reason why they beat the Ravens, beat Lamar Jackson. Jalen Hurts could go right above Saquon in the MVP conversation because his numbers look good because the touch push, all the rushing touchdowns. So he could make a good case for himself.
You have to say that. Somebody taking notes right now.
This is true. All right, let's get these last words. Great show on the Black Friday post Thanksgiving. Hope your bellies ain't too full. Hope you doing it what Teddy's doing, exercising, getting those calories off. Because you gotta be healthy. You gotta stay in shape. Right, your health is your wealth. What's the point of being wealthy if you ain't got the health? All right.
Shout out to the 49ers. So shout out to the 49ers. I'm sorry, Dave. It's my one time a year, man. I had to get one off, man.
Hey, so
remember you lost again this year. Okay.
You right.
Shout out one day. Shout out to the R2R network. Shout out to the R2R family in the chats. Shout out to all the supporters. Shout out to Lambo Antelope for the intro on the song. Shout out to my brother Ed Hahn with the logo. Commanders, listen, man, we got the Titans. Don't sleep. The Titans have a really good defense. But my man Marshall Lattimore, he's on track to play on Sunday. They haven't announced it yet. They said they're going to discuss it today and come up with a decision. But he should be playing, which I'd be very excited about because our defense have been playing very good lately. I don't know if y'all been watching, but they've been stepping up. They have their moments, they breakdowns, but the breakdowns be like St. Juice breaking down. That would be Lattimore right there. You know what I mean? So like that'd be our you watch our games. It's always St. Juice in the way or Igbenogany. What? Sorry.
Igbenogany.
Ignore him. That's what you need to do. Ignore him.
I don't want to do that. So,
they don't ignore him because they make sure they throw the ball his way.
Exactly.
He be getting cooked, man. So like Marshall should be back. So I'm expecting a high turnover game. We playing against Will Levis. Will Levis is prone to throw the ball, give you the ball. He just likes turning the ball over. So we got to force some turnovers. But and my Sacramento Kings, good win against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We got Jay Crowder. I thought it was a good pickup. He was barking at Julius Randle late in the fourth. Malik Monk went crazy. We own Minnesota in Minnesota. I don't remember the last time they beat us in Minnesota, to tell you the truth. Like we beat them every time. All right, so but shout out to them. We not winning the cup. Houston already won our bracket. Like we played tonight, it don't matter. It just matters towards the record. So DeRozan will be out again, I think. Well, she should be back. But De'Aaron Fox is playing like an all-NBA player. Please don't snub my guy. Sabonis playing like an all-NBA player. Do not snub my guy either. So that's all I got for y'all. Let's get it.
Shout out to our superstar members. Shout out to Worm, Joe, Dave, myself, Teddy, Cardo, Coach, Vaughn, Lamar, Giovanni, and Chris. Shout out to everyone that is a superstar member. Shout out to everyone. Make sure you all stick around because my boy Dave, the Doghouse, is going live right after this. And right after this, right? Episode 3:30. There we go. It was episode 44. I seen you throw up the fours. I wanted to make sure the time was right. All right, so at 3:30, make sure y'all check out Dave's Doghouse. And shout out to the Cowboy fans because once again, we find a way to divide our fan base. You know, you got the ones that want to tank, and then you got the ones that are like, hey, man, we could actually sneak into the playoffs. And some people are still saying, like, what we going to do when we get there, but we can sneak into the playoffs. Now, what would go crazy is if the Cowboys did make it to the playoffs, and I'm just going to go down this delusional rabbit hole right quick. These are my last words. The Cowboys get into the playoffs, and they magically make a run to the conference finals, right, with Cooper Rush. And I got to sit up here for a whole year, and everyone's talking about how Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott because he done something that Dak has never done.
Crazy.
And I'm going to be the only one on this island saying, well, this is the only time the defense actually stepped up to win these games.
Bro, I would actually root for y'all to get there. Just to create the narrative.
I mean, if I was a fan of another team, I would want that to happen too. Because then it'll be like the whole Nick Foles and Carson Wentz thing where he got them to the
Mhm.
Super Bowl, and it was like, I mean, well, Nick Foles was better, and it was like, no, he wasn't. He just had a run. But that's just where we at right now. So I'm getting ready for draft season with both of my teams. Hashtag capture the flag. Let's go Wizards.
Capture the flag.
Shout out to Wake Forest for getting blown out in that game the other night. You know, don't know why I said that.
Shout out to Duke for losing 2. Mention that.
Yeah, you're right. We lost 2 or 3. It's okay. Miami Heat. Look, I mean, I'm not too surprised about where we are right now. You know, we just had another win. We played the Raptors today, so let's get a dub. Of course, let's finally get over 500. I feel like we've been at 500 or under like consistently. We just can't string together a bunch of wins. I don't know what's going on. Jimmy Butler's out with a back injury, so we don't know when he's gonna come back. But we also don't, you know, I mean, I don't think we're gonna win. It's too many ways for us to lose. You know, if we lose, we're out. If Detroit wins, we're out. If Atlanta wins, we're out. If New York and Orlando wins, we're out. And then Indiana has to have a better point differential than us, and we're out. So we're not going to win. Exactly. So it's too much that's going to have us to be able to win the bracket. So
literally your whole group.
Exactly, the whole group. But I still feel good about the season. You know, we're not playing terribly. We're not playing great either. We're just like right in the middle. Kind of sort of where I figured where we would be right now. Tyler Hero has had a great season so far. Bam is starting to play a lot better. You know, and before the last game, Jimmy had back-to-back 30-point games. So it's all right. Duke, I mean, we just got to get some wins together, and we need to sweep UNC this year. That's all I need. Just sweep UNC and get some wins together. And then University of Miami, we got a game tomorrow against Syracuse. Let's win the game. I'm tired of stressing about this defense giving up points. We played good last week. It was against Wake Forest football. I mean, Wake Forest football is bad, so I mean, I expected that. But Syracuse is an offense that can score. So let's play a lot better this week so we can get to the ACC championship game, but take care of tomorrow. Got to win tomorrow. Tune into Dave's Doghouse at 3:30, episode 44. It's going to be a great show. I got some people coming out of the doghouse and some people going in the doghouse. So definitely going to be a great show. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. We are on our way to 5,000 subscribers. So like, share, subscribe so we can get to that point. Thank you all for watching. We appreciate the fans. And me and Joe actually have a show tomorrow night. It's a LeBron versus Jordan debate where we are tag teaming against 2 LeBron lovers. So it's going to be on the Heat Nation podcast. It's going to be on the Heat Zone podcast. Don't worry. This all just came together last night. This really just came together.
That's cool. I just want to know where to watch because this is going to be good.
This is going to be on the Miami Heat Zone tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't worry. As soon as the link is created, I will send it to everybody. I already have the picture ready, like the thumbnail. The thumbnail's already prepared, so it's gonna be great.
They're gonna get slaughtered, man.
Yeah, it's an easy dub.
What's my boy from? It's gonna be like Sue Surf and Tay Rock.
Good titles. There you go. Good titles. There you go.
Okay, this is gonna be good. I can't wait for the link.
There you go. Yeah, the people we're going against are I think their channel is called LeBron James GOAT Kingdom. So that lets you know.
This is gonna be good. Oh, I can't wait to see Joe on this one. Y'all got some AJ. Where you at? They might need some backup, AJ.
I'm telling you, hey, Joe will tell you the other guy, the guy that debated for LeBron James, AJ did a lot better job than he did.
Yeah, I think AJ was probably the best LeBron debater I've ever seen.
I ain't even gonna lie.
AJ did a really good job.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is that guy said that LeBron James overachieved in Miami.
Okay,
I can see that. I just wanted to get y'all upset, man. It's all good. look, I had to get y'all locked in.
And LeBron James didn't choke in 2011. That's also what he said.
Okay, all right. Let's end this episode. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all
you almost had me, bro. You almost had me.
At the next episode, but not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. All right, y'all. See you on next episode. Peace. Let's get it. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.